Hello everyone, welcome back to my single player survival world, but today the name of this series changes. It's no longer 1.17 single player survival. We have just upgraded to Minecraft 1.18. So, rather than doing any work around the base today, what we're going to do is go over to some of the new terrain and take a look over there and then build the 1.18 outpost. Let's hop straight into it. The first thing we need to do in today's video is put together a small shulker box full of items from our base that we'll need to make the 1.18 outpost. So what I'm thinking of doing is making some sort of coppery looking house using copper and deep slate and some other and some moss, which is over here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is put together that shulker box and then we will head out to the new terrain. I've put together a small box of goodies to take with me. Everything else I might need I can probably get over in the 1.18 area without too much trouble, but all I've got in here is some moss, some glass, some deep slate and some stone. I'll probably grab some other small items from around this area. So what we'll do now is head straight out to the new terrain. We'll head in that direction, which is the same direction as our first netherite quest, the one that when these blocks went missing. See episode 18 for more. So we'll head out in that direction, which is the closest direction where I have not explored the terrain. So we'll head out there now and find a good spot to settle down. Well, I've done a little bit of flying around the world and I found this little place. Now it's pretty cute, it's pretty small. There's not a whole lot here, but it does look really, really nice. So over here is a jungle area, which I plan to expand into at some point, but I plan to build on this windswept savanna over here. Now it's got these really nice caves. Oh my god, the lag. It's got these really nice caves that run through the middle of it like that. Or like what I just showed you. So I'm thinking about maybe building some sort of tower in this space here. Or maybe having a house here with a mine that drops out the bottom, or like a mine shaft which drops out the bottom and goes down into some 1.18 caves. Now I have made sure this is actually 1.18 terrain. I made a separate world and checked it all over there. Now the other thing is I'm probably going to end up making this into like a small town area, but for now this is just going to be our 1.18 outpost. So I don't have the replay mod right now and I can't really record time lapses without it. It's really difficult and just a pain in the bum. So what we're going to do is do something a bit different with progress updates. So I will be back to you in just a moment once I have the foundations put together. I've started off this build by putting in a small version of a wireframe, so this isn't the final height of it, nor is it the final width. I don't think. I might expand it out a bit. With the spruce logs, so these are just normal spruce logs that I've placed in a typical wireframe. And then here in the floor I have put in some oak logs, which I have then stripped. So you can see that that's the same texture there. Stripped oak logs in the floor in my favorite checkerboard pattern. What we're going to do now is put together the walls, which are going to be a mix of cobble, deep slate, and deep slate. So what I'm thinking is making like a sort of gradient with the deep slate. So I'll show what I mean with that. Essentially, what I've done here is just a small version of it, but you can see that because the cobble deep slate has a much darker texture, it naturally makes the thing look a bit taller, despite it not actually being any taller. So that's the plan for these walls. I'm going to put those in now and extend them right up to their final height, and I'll be back to you once that has been completed. I've now put in the bottom of the gradient here, so it's just this cobbled deep slate in so far, but what I also have done before I continue to build this little outpost is I've extended it out by adding this little nook here, and I've also made this bit a bit longer and a little bit wider as well in this main section here for a number of reasons that are related to the interior decoration that we'll do later. So now that I have the cobble deep slate in, this stuff here, what I'm going to start doing is getting out my deep slate and essentially just placing this kind of randomly all over the place to fill up the rest of the walls. I'll be back once that has been completed. I've now put all the walls in, and you can see that gradient that I was talking about. This cobble deep slate down here is just that little bit darker. It's very subtle on this build because cobble deep slate and normal deep slate aren't that different, but it is there. And it does make it look a bit taller. This is about, what is that? This is 7 blocks tall. It looks a bit taller than 7 blocks tall, especially from down here. I'll probably add another couple of blocks on top there, and I'll do that in this next jump cut. But what we're going to do now is put on the roof as well. So I'll extend all of these up a little bit and then slap the roof on top. I'll be back once that has been completed with the final exterior of the building done and ready to do some detailing. I've now put the ceiling on this thing and raised it up a couple of blocks, and you can see that an Enderman spawned in there. You can see that with the ceiling on, it actually looks surprisingly good. Now, it does look a bit bare right now, if I just turn around and have a look at it again. It looks pretty bare at the moment, but that's because I haven't done any of the details. But the base shape is in position. So, what we're going to do now is do another cut, and in that... Oh, it's dangerous in there. Okay, I need to light that up. But I will get some details put on these walls. Like, this wall is very flat and bland, despite having this pretty subtle gradient. So I'm going to get some details slapped on here now, and I'll be back once I've put in some of those exterior details, at which point we will do the interior of the build. I have now done the detailing of this place, so we're going to fly out here and have a bit of a look at it. Now, you can see that whilst it's still got some pretty flat walls, your eyes are taken away from the base block by all the little things around it. So you can see that I've got glow lichen and vines. Yes, I know there's string there, and some cobwebs lining the walls, and then your main feature, which is this hanging lantern thing with sea pickles on top. Now, funnily enough, sea pickles just so happen to be the exact same size as the top of a fence post, and they bring a lot of green to the to the build. Now, it looks pretty run down. That's the kind of vibe I was going for. That's the kind of vibe I'll go for in the interior as well. But it's pretty run down. There's cobwebs all over the place. There's lichen and moss and what's it called? Vines growing all over the place. And just in general, it looks pretty solid now. The other thing I've done is I've put these rails running through here and into this hole, which I'll do something in a little bit. Oh my god, that's dangerous. And then I've also put some leaves here, obviously, and this this spruce log pile. And I might actually, if I just grab out this, strip some of these, like so. And that one. And I've just used rails on here as like kind of ropes. I've seen this trick done a fair bit before, but they essentially just look like little ropes that run over the top and hold the logs to the ground. And the plan for that is to put a fireplace in this space here, so take out the roof and have it stick up through the top. And that should also bring a little bit more life around to this side with just a little brick bit sticking up, and I might replace that with the little bricks sticking up right through to the top of the thing. But all in all, I'd say that this build has come together. So it's obviously some sort of run-down mining shack, and I like to think that it's been like all the ores have been taken out of the ground already, and it's been abandoned with the minecarts, the rails, and the entire shack just being left here. Now, it would have been the sleeping quarters of everyone too. So on that, we need to make some sort of detailed interior. I'm thinking about doing two floors in here. So obviously down here would be the living areas and or the mining areas. So maybe putting the fireplace in here for warmth, and then having the mine carts stored somewhere around here as well. And then this drop off, or being some sort of mine shaft looking thing, or an elevator or something. I'll figure it out in a bit. And then upstairs would be the living quarters. So one half would be the bed area, one half would be the kitchen area. So I'm going to put all that in place now, and I'll be back in just a moment. Our house is now done. Or at least reset it. Our 1.18 outpost, our mining outpost, has been completed. Now, all that's changed on the outside here is you can see a little bit more of the stuff inside, and I've put this chimney on the outside. But what I've mostly done is the interior. So let's fly in here and take a look. Ow, that really hurt. Down here on the bottom floor is where all the mining stuff happened, and obviously this has been abandoned. So we've obviously got piles of coal and iron over here. I haven't put any other ores in because I don't have any other ores. And there's a number of mine carts with different items in them scattered all over the place. So this one probably had something in it. We don't know. It's just sitting over here in the corner now. This one's a furnace to power things when they're down in the mine shaft. This one here is a hopper minecart to pick things up, and then there's a number of other ones scattered around the place. All in all, this looks pretty good. I have added the fireplace in here, which also looks quite nice. I might add some iron trapdoors on top here, and have that as like a smelting area. Smelting in air quotes. But yeah, in general, this area looks pretty good now. What I also have done is this pulley system. So as you can see, it's attached to the roof, and you can think of this as like some sort of pulley. So these logs are a pulley that ends up lifting or lowering this. It's essentially an elevator. This is how an elevator works. So it's this iron block is the same weight as that elevator end down there, and as such, the people working here could pull items up from down in the mines. Now, I haven't done the mines yet, but that's going to come in another episode, because this episode is starting to get pretty long. Or, I need to record other things. This 1.18's out. I need to record. So yeah, in general, that's the principle for this. Now, before we head down there, I'm going to head upstairs. Up here in this first room is our little kitchen area. So we have a smoker here as like an oven kind of thing, and a hot plate. And then here is also some hot plate, which is it's really just a crafting table with trapdoors on the side of it. But it's good to have the crafting table here. I've also got a little table and chair set up with some oxidized copper and some warped bits and pieces on the side of it to make the chair and table. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this. I don't know if it really fits in with this room, but I had the oxidized copper ready, so I thought I may as well give it a shot. The other thing is I've got a small fridge over here in the corner, and that's essentially just because not everything could be stored in like small cabinets. Oh, I forgot cabinets. Oh well, not everything can be stored in cabinets because it will just go off. So there's a fridge there as well. Then over here is the bedroom. This is where I will be camping out while I'm in the 1.18 area. And essentially over here is what's meant to be a closet, but really it's got nothing behind it. It's just there for decoration. And then obviously 3 beds here, and then some other minor decorations around the place. All of these rooms have been decorated with the glow lichen. I don't have any in my inventory because I think I'm out. And the cobwebs, because once again, this place is meant to be run down and old and abandoned, and that's why I can live here. So, or at least stay here for the time being. So I've decorated it all in that old abandoned vibe. I've done as much for lighting as I need to, but I realized that light level of 0 is the only place the mobs can spawn, so I can have dark areas. It's good. So, the last thing I need to show off to you guys is the actual mineshaft bit. So I'm just going to drop down here, and you can see that in this space, like there's a pretty big space down here below our house, which is just up there. You can see it there. And down here, what I've done is have a support structure that holds up both the house and will eventually lead down into the mine. Now, I haven't dug out the mine yet. That will come in a later video, and I'll extend all of this stuff right down to the bottom of the world. There'll be mine shafts branching off in all sorts of directions. But the goal is essentially just to find a cave. That'll be the goal of this mine shaft, and then we can go and explore it. But that's not going to come in today's video. So, that's this house completed. Now, I actually really, really like this build. I don't build that... Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I don't build that often in this kind of style, where it's run down and ruined and old. So I really enjoyed putting this together. Now, it seems that the vines are spreading, but I don't have any string on me, so I can't do anything about that. I can just hope and pray that I can keep on top of it, which is probably not likely. So, other than that, that's all I've done for this house. It looks really, really good in my opinion. Before I put all these details in, it did look bland and kind of boring, but it's definitely taken a step up with the kind of ruining that I've done for it now. I chose to ruin it because if I didn't, the walls would be really, really bland. Simply put, I don't know what else to do with the walls. I'm a bit stupid sometimes. So if anyone has any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. But that's this house complete. I'm going to pop into an... Oh, that's why it's grown. The string's broken. Meh. Alright, I will get all of this stringed up and I'll be back. That is all I have time for in today's video. So obviously we've done a fair bit of stuff today. We went out here and generated the 1.18 terrain, which, by the way, is looking really, really nice. There's obviously that mountain over there, but in this area here, I chose it because of all the potential for caves. So there was this cave in here, and then there was the massive, weird caves in the bottom of my base here. So that's why I chose this area. No! I'm gonna have to replace that. Rail. I'll fix it in a bit. All in all, we've done a fair bit in today's video. After we found this new terrain, we built this
1.18 Outpost, which is probably what the title of the episode is. And I think it looks really, really cool. Really nice old abandoned mining outpost that we are calling our 1.18 Outpost. So, that's all I've got time for today. If you want to see more stuff from me, subscribe to the channel. I've put out 3 videos today, and I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to go to bed now. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. It's always great to see support for the videos. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.